Cocktails Queen.
Yeah.
Somebody like that one up in Arizona. Yes, he likes that one. And Green. Out of all of these projects, which one represents you or resonates with who you are at your core?
All of them. All of them, because I find myself quoting some of the same quotes from Players Club, like make the money, don't let the money make you.
Yeah.
Now, how relevant is that even today? And even when I said to her, you know, what you gonna do? Make a career out of it? That's relevant today too, you know. Because to be honest, you know, when I go into strip clubs now, yeah, they push the button, oh, she here. You know what I mean? I get all my dances free. But no, girl, there was a movie. But I try not to go into mother mode or older woman mode, because I'm looking at this baby wondering how long you've been doing this and how long you gonna do it for. Because what you gonna do? Make a career out of it?
Right.
And so I do understand that some people start there. But that's where it has to be. It's the beginning, because we all have to grow from some place. And so I try very hard not to start, you know, preaching and then while they dancing, you know. But my facial expression be saying it all. It's like, girl, girl, girl. But all of the characters, because I do believe that art imitates life. And that is the way that you're able to embody some of the character, because, you know, a lot of people may say, you know, is that you? Are you just playing yourself? You know? And I always say, well, thank you, because that means I made it look believable. But some of the characters, you are breathing life into the words. And so it is you, you know? Every character I play, because we are very strong, powerful women, we have those many, you know, that much stuff in us. You know, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a cousin, I'm an auntie, I am a friend. You know what I mean? I have lied before, I've been cheated on before, I've been loved before, I've been hurt before, I'm emotional, I'm all those things that require the character to cry when she's hurt, to laugh when she's feeling good, to feel whatever that needs to be felt to make you believe in that character and follow the storyline. So every character that I have, thank you, every character that I embody, I try to find something in there of me that I can place in that character, because I want people to adapt to knowing that art imitates life.
And you talked about food. So when you were standing here watching your work, you came up, okay, I get that real. What were you feeling watching your stuff?
Gratitude, you know, and I've been more in gratitude in the last couple of years, because Hollywood is hard. Life is hard, you know? And so it's such a thin line between tooting your own horn and then believing in yourself, you know, and having that confident level, because a lot of people will take your confidence for being cocky. But you have to be, because you have to be the first one to believe in you.
Yes.
Because if you don't, then no one is, you know, even if you get pushed out there, at the end of the day, it's going to require you to show up.
Yes.
And so when you show up, you got to show out, because if not, you're going to keep getting that same chance to be able to do it again and again and again. And that isn't growth. That's just your opportunity. And what you do with that opportunity to grow and move, then you're going on your journey. You know, but we're forever going on a journey. We're forever growing, because I don't know about you, because I don't know, you know, who this is for, but it got to be for somebody out there. So touch your neighbor and say amen. But you got to feel it. You got to not want to be complacent. Because I don't want to be the same person I was 5 years ago. I don't want to be the same person as I was last year, when people say you changed, and I say thank you. Absolutely, because I want bigger, better, more, all the time.
Yes.
Because I don't want to stand at the standstill. I like my lifestyle. I appreciate my lifestyle. I'm thankful for my lifestyle, but I want to keep my lifestyle. And therefore, if I keep it, that means I got to keep doing what I'm doing and do more, because inflation is going to allow me to say, oh, well, how much more they want? How much more do I need? You know what I mean? So I got to keep up with the McCoys and the Joneses.
I love it. I love it. So you talked about your journey. Let's actually talk about your journey from the start. Now, you're very open and you talk about your past. And I read or watched the interview and you talked about you're a proud dance girl. Proud dance girl, right? Daddy's girls in there. And your daddy was a businessman. And you said that your life was set for you to be a businesswoman, you thought, until he was unfortunately murdered. And it changed your trajectory. What was that transition like for you?
Let me take my gum out of my mouth because you didn't went someplace I didn't think he was going to start.
This is why people like you when you connect with the audience.
Now what you say? No.
Trajectory. You thought your life was going in one path, and it just shifted on you.
It did, because I grew up in a well-to-do family. And my father, he owned several businesses in real estate, and I learned how to do business out of the backseat of his car. And I didn't even know that then. You know, when you just want to be where your favorite person is, and whatever they take it in, you take it in subconsciously. So I did not know. I just felt like we had all of this. And so even growing up as a young girl, I felt like, well, what is it that I'm going to have to do? Because I'm going to have all of this. And I'm being groomed for all of this because I absolutely started from the bottom. Now I'm here. You know, we owned hotels and motels. You know, motels, those, transit hotels. You know I ain't the only one to know about that. You know, those ones have 4 hours, 8 hours, and overnight. you know the Lenny, you can get plenty. You have all the, the people there. And so I grew up kind of fast. You know what I mean? I knew about the pimp players and hustlers at an early age, which means I got game and I got the gift of gab. And so I had to learn how to have the hustle and the bustle to go behind the business of that. I knew that. And so when my father, was able to show me all the different businesses that we had, which he had to embody different skills for this. Even as an adult, I look back on it and I say, I never saw him not one day wake up on the wrong side of the bed. And people actually liked him. Now, he was stern because to be a business person, you got to keep what you got and what you're building. You know what I mean? You can't be no fool. Businessmen are strategic. The way they move, that's why I like to date up. That's for anybody out there, because I am single and searching. And we'll talk about that at another time, a little later. But Daddy was a rolling stone. He taught me. You know what I mean? I was a daddy's girl. And so the first love is your father, and I was his princess. And so a lot of what people see of me today is because of my father, and my mother. Because my mother showed me how to be a woman. And a lot of people, and shout out to the housewives out there, because people always forget about the strong woman that is aside the strong man. So my mama taught me how to cook, how to organize. And I thought, it was miscellaneous back then. But as a woman now, I'm like, wow, right, you got to be well-rounded. I don't want to be a microwave baby like some of these millennials. They don't even know how to cook a hamburger. And I'm going, how you going to keep them fed? You know what I mean? Both ways, fed here and fed here and fed here. And so I embodied that with my dad. You know what I mean? And so when I lost him at a young age, I was completely devastated. My whole world had been rocked because I had been pegged to be so spoiled that I wasn't going to amount to anything. I don't know about y'all, but when you hear adults talking, they think that you're not listening, because I come from the era you're supposed to be seen and not heard still. But I heard. It was like, wow, I'm not going to amount to nothing. Now psychologically, that can do a lot to a young girl. And I was spoiled. And I feel like I come from money, so what do you mean? So I already embodied that. So when he was taken from me, it was an adjustment for me. You know, I've shared with others that I tried to commit suicide twice. And I felt like I didn't have a reason to go on because I felt like my biggest fan was gone. That's why you got to be careful about the people that you be around, the people you keep. Mama always say, birds of a feather. I wanted to make sure y'all was listening. Very good. Okay, you flopping, you flying. Okay, we soaring. High. What she say? When they go low, we go high. I like it. And so I had to find myself, you know, and then I had my daughter, and my daughter saved my life because she gave me purpose. She gave me love. She gave me unconditional love and responsibility, you know, and I didn't really have that because my first real job was Hollywood. So for me to be someplace and show up on time, that's big, you know, consistently. And I've been in the business for over 20 years now, you know. But what makes me proud is that I'm a self-made woman, like my father was, a self-made person. And so as they would say to me I wasn't going to amount to nothing, I have to look at them and say, look at me now. Look at me now, you know. So I'm proud of myself, but it really comes from the root of the family. You know, when they say the apple don't fall too far from the tree. And I just had two great trees to fall from, you know.
Amen to that. I'm sure your mom is so proud of you. Your dad really proud of you as well. And I love what you say about the confidence that you have to have. And it's kind of like that line. You know, you don't want it to cross over to arrogance or turn people off. But I was listening to an interview from Cheryl Crow, who just won an Emmy, second Black woman. She was in a comedy series, and she was talking to NPR, and she said that after she was done with Dreamgirls, she moved out to Hollywood, and a big time casting director said to her, "You're beautiful, you're talented, and you're Black. Everybody knows that. But what am I supposed to do with a beautiful, talented Black woman? And what am I supposed to do? Have you kissed Tom Cruise? Nobody wants to see that." And she said she took it. She didn't say like, "Oh, there's no place for me in Hollywood." She took it, "I'm beautiful, I'm talented, and everybody knows that." And she said that Sidney Poitier gave her a box, and in it was like makeup and things to do. This is back in the 70s. And he said, basically the industry is not ready for you as a Black woman, not prepared for you as a Black woman, so you have to stay ready. Is that the same way, is Hollywood the same way today for Black women?
And let me add this too, because just as dark-skinned Black women have their thing, light-skinned Black women have their thing too. A lot of people think that we were the flavor of the year kind of thing, but that's always, all the time, for everybody. There's a season for everyone. So for me, my whole thing that I had to fight against is Players Club, the sex symbol thing. Every time I showed up, if I wasn't pushed up, tucked out, and tight where I couldn't talk damn near, they didn't want to see me because they always wanted to see the sex symbol. And I struggled to fight to say, but there's more in me than just that. But they never wanted to see me play a lawyer or play an opposite of white or get grungy. Think about it. When Halle Berry won her Oscar, what did she have to do? How did she have to look? She looked like Aunt Your Mama, a brown-skinned Aunt Your Mama. She had the excuse the expression, fuck the white man.
Right.
That's what it is.
And drugged out. You know what I mean? She didn't look like what we're used to Halle looking like, but she had to strip all that down to say, hey, see me. So we still all go through a struggle. The great thing about it is that when you have that 1 ounce of blood that they say that we have, if we have that, that's what make us Black, period. We come in so many diaspora of colors. You know what I mean? But the struggle is still real. So that was Shirley Ralph's struggle. But as a woman, we fight. As being black, we fight. As being a minority, we fight, you know. And we don't make the same money as they do. So we're always fighting. So I had to wait until I got of a certain age to be able to play the roles that I'm playing now. I could have never did the roles that I've done now. Majority of the stuff you've seen has just been filmed in the last year. I've been working my butt off.
Staying busy and booked, right?
Yeah, booked, busy, and blessed. You know, and I tell you though, the power of no is real. The power of prayer is real. Because I sat down with my vision board and I wrote down some specific things that I wanted to elevate, escalate, and be able to pray on. And I did, and I stayed focused. And I said, I just can't take everything. You know what I mean? I gotta just stand for what it is that I want now. Because sometimes you're forced to go after it because of the money. Because hey, let's be honest, we gotta pay our bills. And love don't pay the bills. Unless he's rich, and then he may pay. My bad, I digress. That was another chapter of my life, but that's my first 30 days, but you know, I have grown from that, you know what I mean? And I am the woman that I am now. Thank you, hallelujah, thank you. Life is good, though. Life is good, and when I focus on just those goals that I really wanted for myself and said, don't break, have faith. And when you really have faith, you got to let them show up for you. You know what I mean? And I did. And I had to believe. You know what I mean? And there was some hard times that almost made me go, did you hear me? You know, are you, GP, are you with me? You know? And I had to stay on course. And I'm so glad I did, because it gave me a whole nother power of confidence that I absolutely needed to go to the next level, you know what I mean? And so I feel real honor and gratitude, and it lets me know that I am moving in the right direction to keep going. So I spread that message and be that example. And you know, getting older means getting more mature. You know, and I'm just glad I'm not a millennial. I'm sorry.
I'm a grandma millennial, but
I am. Because some of the things I don't concern myself with that they do, because I'm past that stage now. And I'm an auntie now. You know, they look at me like, tell us. And it's like, I was, and somebody told me, and so I want us to keep that up for each other. We still need that person that we listen to. It's called that accountability person, and we need that. And so if that person shows up in a way in which they relate to, then you got them. And I'm very relatable if you give me a chance. I had that whole thing of, look at her. She thinks she's cute. And it was like, no, you think I'm cute. That's why you're saying that. I just came to the party just like you. I put my outfit on just like you. Girl, don't you think you cute? Right. But I had that, the light skin, she light skin, she got pretty eyes, she thinks I do, and I did, and I do, and I still do, but don't everybody, and if you don't, girl, you better go find it. You know what I mean? You gotta pick up what I'm putting down or something. And so I had that I had to go through as well. So everybody has been traumatized. You know what I mean? We all have been traumatized. But the thing is, time waits for no one. We still have to move forward. And so I want to be able to give a good, kind word to someone that will allow them to shake off what they've been through before they saw me, and I can give them something so they can give to somebody else.
All right.
And that's very powerful, because you hear the saying, it's not what happens to you that defines you, it's how you respond to it. And you have been very open about, you brought it up with your first lady days and some of the mistakes or whatever you made in the past and broken relationships. Why is it so important to you to be real in film, in television? Because we get the real record.
Mm-hmm. Because real know real, just like game peep game. And you can feel it when someone brings you into a scene that they're crying, that they're feeling something for their family member, whatever the scene embodies. When they go there, you feel the authenticity in that scene.
Yes.
That's why we entertain you all. We play pretend. And we entertain you all, and you come to movies to feel those feelings, that not that you've never felt those feelings before, but it makes you real when you see somebody going through some pain. It touches your heart because you're real.
Yes.
So real knows real, and so you want to be able to embody the things that is going to touch people in their lives because that makes it relatable.
You say you're happy you're not a millennial. Millennial, now Gen Z is coming up. And it's all about social media. How has social media changed the film industry?
I am now competing with the Insta-famous people. And I say that Instagram is Insta-famous, you know, and I'm not hating on it because, you know, you got YouTube sensations, you have influencers, and there's a place for everyone because there's money out here to make, you know what I mean? So it's not that. But it's pretty much what Samuel L. Jackson said about the rappers when they first started coming in the game. He said, well, wait a minute, doggone it. Do the work.
Yes.
Because I've been in the business for however many years and I had to get to this point. You get to this point because you make music and they shuffle you over here. That's how I feel about the Insta-famous people. It's like when I'm in a movie, it's like the collaboration of, you know, the companies now are saying, well, how many followers do you have? And it's like, I don't know, a couple million. I'm still who I am, you know, but they forget about the talent because now they want to know how many followers you have. How many people and eyes can you get our product on? And so now you have people that's making money with that. But you also have people that have an opportunity and a vehicle that is able to showcase their talent that they didn't have before, that we didn't have before. You know, we had to do it old school. We had to do the hit the pavement and walk the pavement kind of thing and knock on doors. You know, now you have social media where you can put it up and send it to people and say, hey, this is me. And depending on how many people you have that like the me in you, then people are like, oh, here's my followers. So you have to now get with the game because that's where the world is going. It's almost like when they first showed us what computers was. How many people remember that cartoon called The Jetsons?
Yeah.
Are we not in the Jetsons right now?
Right.
Flying cars that's driving themselves, escalators, microwaves, the little vacuum that was vacuuming and stuff, robots. All of that. I'm just still waiting on the makeup thing so it can go makeup, and I'm done, and I can go. That's what I'm waiting on. You know what I mean? I don't know too much about the cars. I just feel like the cars that's driving itself. I mean, a fuse will blow and they've been and drove us to hell. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not sure about that yet.
Now you say you've been in the industry for over 20 years, continuing, and you're going strong. You're still, I say, you're still young, beautiful, vibrant, dynamic. Okay. Yes, but you're at the age.
If I must say so myself.
You're at the age, though, where you say, and by the way, happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you.
But you're thinking about your legacy. What is it that you want your legacy to be? Lisa Ray McCoy is long gone.
That body of work that you saw is a beginning for me and lets me know that there's been a place for me, which grounds me. My granddaughter gave me my purpose back. Okay. When she came, I said, she got to know who I am. Yes. She got to know what I've built. And I have to leave something back here for her.
Yes.
I never really thought like that. Although, I'm going to give you a damn mic and let you come on up here in a minute. Because you are taking the words right out of my mouth and I like it. Just like my father. Because a lot of us, as black people, we don't think about our generation because we don't think about the generational curse.
Right.
But the white folks, and hey, if some white folks in here, welcome. But the white folks, how you doing? But the white folks, they leave it for their kids. It's called Waskoski and Son. They do. And now they even got enough nerve to be as rich as Bill Gates and say, I'm just leaving $1 million for my kids because they got to get it for themselves. Nevertheless, they leave them something back here and a work ethic to follow. But because we've been struggling for so long to live this thing called life right now, everything we make goes into what we're doing right now. But we got to start thinking different. We got to start learning more and learning what they do. Because I don't know about y'all, I was not a Trump supporter, but he showed his hand, baby. And he showed us a lot of stuff. You know, and even racism that it was right next to us. I had no clue that it was that close to us. I didn't know that we would be going through what we're going through now. And the mental illness that we're going through as well. Okay, I just be diverse.
So it sounds like you know your legacy to be that you know who you were. You know Lisa Ray McCoy knew who she was.
And do things on your own way. You know, you will be influenced, but don't be forced. That's different. You know what I mean? Learn what you have to learn so you know what to talk about and how to talk about it. And if you don't, then shut up and be able to listen for it.
But we know what you know how to talk about, and that is your films and your work. You got one coming up.
I do.
You do.
I do. I have a Nollywood film coming up. I know, I so love it. You know, everything that they show us in Africa on TV is not what's going on over there. I must say that. And I was so pleasantly surprised to get the call from the producers and the director to embody this character called Angela in this film called Single, Not Searching. And we filmed in Ghana and we also filmed in Atlanta. But the collaboration of the Ghanaian and the Nigerian actors with the American actors, it's like a girl's trip. We're looking for love, and everywhere, everyone is looking for love, whether you're woman, man, or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's such a fun, refreshing film full of drama, tears, and laughter. Till when I went over there, I felt strong.
Yes.
I felt like a star. I felt like, well, I didn't see too many light-skinned black women over there, but I did see black. And I saw so many different nationalities over there. People was from South Carolina and Houston and New York that had moved there. And I was like, how the hell you get from New York and want to be in Ghana and live here? But once I was there, I got it. You know, and they knew, you know, and that was the reason why they took the American actors over to Ghana and filmed over there. And it was, I'm telling you, the way that the movie is shot, the beautiful colors and the vibrancy of it was just amazing for me.
So audience, are you all ready for a treat? Please join me in welcoming the director of this film that Lisa is speaking of, Lisa Ray is speaking of, Mr. Michael Java, the director of the film, Single Not Searching. Got a microphone there?
Hello. How you really doing?
Listen to that accent. I mean, I was hearing that all over there. I was like, read a book to me. Recite a poem to me.
Yeah, she did all of that. Grateful to be here. I want to be here, see inclusive. I think it's 20 minutes of the film right now that we made. And it's an honor to be here.
Thank you.
Happy to share this with you. Nollywood meets Hollywood.
Yes.
So Lisa Ray described the film. Are you ready to see an excerpt of it?
Yes.